And when Saquon Barkley has the ball in his hands, it's a good chance it's going to happen with him.
He is floating the football. It is for Devontae Smith. Touchdown!
Got it. Eagles by 10.
Touchdown, Josh Jacobs. And the Packers are back in it.
64. Here it is.
And this game belongs to Philadelphia as they win at 10-7.
First thing Jeff Saturday said this morning was it felt like a playoff game at Lambeau Field. And based on the Eagles winning, look at how bunched up the standings are now in the NFC. Less than 2 games separate the Eagles, who are at the top, from the Packers, who are the 7th seed. When you include the 49ers, who, as you see, they were the first team out, there are 8 NFC teams who are multiple games over 500. I've been saying since it all began, a good team is going to get left out in the NFC. There are not enough spots for all of the teams that we think are good in the NFC, which I'm not sure we would say the same thing about the AFC. So do we think right now, based on last night, you talked about it earlier, Jeff, I mean, they've won all the games against the good teams. Are the Eagles clearly the team to beat again in the NFC?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the NFC West, as good as they are, I think there's going to be attrition because they're going to kind of beat up on each other. And I think with the Eagles in their division, they probably have the easiest. I say that they're about to play the Lions, but you know what I mean? Like, they're going to have the easiest road to get that. And I will say, coming from the West, that's a massive advantage for the Eagles if they get home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little partial to the Rams. I know the Eagles beat them with 2 blocked field goals in that game, but I think the way that the Rams have been playing, I like that. Obviously, the difference maker for them is they have the quarterback right now who is probably the front runner for the MVP in the league. And so I'm not going
Stafford,
I'm really not going out on a limb and picking the Rams the way that he's playing with a healthy Puka.
And I like Seattle right now. And I know you can bring the question marks about Sam Darnold, how he finished a year ago in Minnesota. But what I love is how this team wins games. When you talk about winning in the playoffs.
Like, it changes every week. I get it. But right now, like, all we can do is the information we have. Right now, Seattle's they're up 35-0 halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah.
And you're telling me you got a team that only scored 10 last night. Like, that's. I mean, right now, Seattle's got everything you want. Seattle's playing the Rams this week. It is a massive game. The winner of that game will probably become the favorite in the NFC. But I think it's
the scary part for me with Seattle is their run game, and their tackles. They do a really good job protecting Sam Darnold. That's why he's making those plays. All that stuff kind of changes come playoff time. Windows get tighter, pressure gets more. All those things. They can get under center. The problem is you got to be able to establish the run and play with it. McDonald knows it, but they're going to have to find that rhythm.
It's not unreasonable for a football fan who doesn't necessarily have a horse in the race to say, I'm going to need to see it from Sam Darnold. And in the same same vote on the AFC side, I'm going to need to see it from Daniel Jones in a big game to believe it. They've both been great. There's no question about it. No one's taken away what they're doing with their seasons. But I'm going to need to see them beat Matt Stafford, beat Jalen Hurts, beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game before I'm fully ready to believe it.
That's true if anybody hasn't done it.
For sure.
Right? We need to see it from
those
Jordan
guys
Love.
in particular, because they've been around a long time.
But did you see Daniel Jones, blood dripping, coming out? I mean, just early morning here, you just playing tough, fighting through it. Put that thing out there.
What about the fumbles?
Did I say the fumbles? Did I say blood drip? I didn't talk about fumbles or turnovers. I said, did you see the toughness?
The difference in Darnold, obviously you could say that about any quarterback who hasn't done it, but Darnold and Jones are particularly members of this Left 4 Dead club.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? They're in this club of quarterbacks who at some point in their career we've seen Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when they are reborn,
you assume that a lot of these games in the regular season are different stakes. And when you have it, even last year when Sam Darnold was playing his best football, the 2 final games of the season were playoff-style games. One was actually a playoff game, and they're really bad situations.
Right.
So, and you could say the same thing about Daniel Jones, except he went nuts in his one playoff game.
Yeah.
But this year, he's had a couple of tough games, and this last win was another tough game. We know that the way that you want to win is not going to work out for 4 playoff games in a row.
That's right.
So they're not going to be able to ride Jonathan Taylor the entire playoff. There's going to become at least one game where Daniel Jones is going to have to black out, and that's the question: is he capable of doing that or not?
Yeah.
All right, we'll find out. It's not an overreaction to say the NFC is loaded. Speaking of overreactions, let's do some with Dan Graziano as we do every Tuesday. Graz has this column, as always, on ESPN.com. Let's start with this one, Dan. Is it an overreaction to say the winner of Sunday's game in Denver, Chiefs-Broncos, will win the AFC West?
It's not an overreaction. Look, if the Broncos win it, they're up 3.5 games on the Chiefs going into their bye. And yes, the Chargers are in this mix. I'm suspicious of them holding it together with their offensive line issues. So if the Chiefs win this game, they're a game and a half back. They've won the division 9 years in a row. Denver's going to have to go sit on that through their bye, and the Chiefs would be able to hit the gas, I think, and finish it off.
I mean, when last seen, the Denver Broncos, while winning, were being booed off the field in their own stadium. Are we buying Denver here?
I mean, that defense is incredible.
Yeah,
we certainly buy the defense, and we trust Sean Payton. I think the issue with Bo Nix is the offense is we're going to throw screens and we're going to throw bombs. And, when the opponent stops that, we don't have any other kind of technique offensively, and that's the concern.
Both can be inaccurate. Screen can be inaccurate, deep ball can be. And I'll say this: I'm not counting out the Chargers. Like when they're 3-0 in the division, I understand their O-line stuff, but they've already.
Yeah, why would you need healthy O-linemen? They're overrated.
No, they'll get. Harbaugh's going to
foul might have been written before the Charger game.
Respect.
The last time we saw the Chiefs too, like they were struggling as well.
O-line.
Bills, and we saw the Bills struggling. So a lot of it, I think, like you start out week to week, it changes.
Speaking of the Bills, the next one. Hey, Dan Graziano. If someone said the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window has closed, is that an overreaction?
Of course it's an overreaction. It's a classic overreaction to Buffalo's worst game of the year, which came 1 week after Buffalo's best game of the year, which was a victory over the Chiefs. We're not going to judge anybody on their worst moment or probably their best. Buffalo has shown that they're going to be there in the end with an elite quarterback.
Jeff, why are you making that?
I'm nervous. Like I would have liked to see them pick somebody up at D-line. Like I understand, and I do trust McDermott. They've done a great job of getting that. They got boat race. They got Miami ran the rock. That's the one thing you cannot tolerate, especially coming to playoff football, that the Bills got run that much.
Shefty said they were in it for Quinnen Williams, and the Jets just wouldn't trade him within the division. That might have been a big difference. J-Mac, you did that game on CBS, the Dolphins and Bills, this weekend. What did you see?
And I have some concerns as well. And Brandon Beane was as disappointed as anyone that he didn't get anyone at the trade deadline. But when I look at this game, this is down the first time they've really had a drive. They got down in the red zone. This is in the third quarter, down 16-0. The Dolphins are going to come with an all-out pressure. For Josh Allen, you're trying to find your best matchup. He's looking to the left side of the field. Look up top. Keon Coleman is one-on-one. The reason he's not going there is because he doesn't trust the guy. There were multiple times throughout this game where he tried to go to Keon Coleman, and Juju Brents had him locked up. Later on in the game, another opportunity, down 16-6. Josh Allen picks up the first down, but this is the old Josh Allen where he had to put the cape on for the Buffalo Bills to win. In this game, there were multiple times where he's running around doing everything. When he got to the sideline, you saw him say, I should have just went down. But he felt like he couldn't because he feels like he has to do so much because the wide receiver position isn't showing up other than a short pass to Khalil Shakir. And then on top of that, Dalton Kincaid got hurt, a hamstring in that game, and he's the one guy that can get down the field vertical.
I mean, I think the question asking if the window closed is obviously premature, but I don't have faith in the Bills because of the Bills as much as I have faith in the Bills because the rest of the AFC. Like, there's no one really running away with it. And you got Josh Allen, and to your point, they have a defense that has proven that they can put it together enough, but that's always, like, year after year, they're injured and they still put it together enough. But right now, you look at this team, it's like, I don't know how they're going to fix this defense. They have some good players.
They lost another defensive
best thing for them, they got a really good offensive line and Cook and obviously Josh Allen. But at least you can take pressure off your defense with those things.
Cindy, can you leave those numbers on the screen a second? Am I the only one who notices the Patriots aren't on that list? They fall somewhere below the Colts, Chiefs, Bills, Broncos, and Chargers to win the AFC. I'm being told they are sixth. That in and of itself is interesting. There are only 16 teams. They're sixth out of that group. And
don't believe that. And they beat
Right now, they look like they're in good shape to get the 1 seed. All right, last overreaction. Graziano, if someone said Jonathan Taylor is going to break multiple records this season, is that an overreaction?
It is not an overreaction. He is on pace for 2,378 scrimmage yards. The record's 2,509. He's on pace for.
But I mean, if it's unfortunate, because I hate the idea that it only goes to quarterbacks. But when you bring in that very specific word of value,
who would be the MVP if it's not Jonathan Taylor right now?
I think we give it to Drake May. right now.
Over
Matt
Stafford?
Stafford. I'm
Or
sorry,
Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
Those are the two.
Matt Stafford or Drake
Yep.
May are going to get it because it's a quarterback's league. We've changed all the rules
If
to
this guy breaks
promote
records-
quarterback
I feel like
success.
that gives Jonathan Taylor a chance because the
Yeah, if he
quarterback
breaks the
position,
record.
which one is it?
If he breaks the
pretty
record.
clearly very
Such
valuable.
a silly award.
Just
now.
become the Davey O'Brien Award at this point. Just
Silly,
call it that.
silly
Just
award.
call it the most valuable quarterback award, and then give another one to all the other players
best
who play
player
the other positions.
that
Coming
actually
up,
plays.
Tainted Love in Green Bay. Is Jordan going to cost the Packers the North? Did they miss the playoffs? How about that Eagles offense? We're all over that game as we continue in a moment. But first, everyone's favorite battle. It's Sneaky Hembo versus Graziano, and I got to tell you, I love this question. The Eagles are 46-14 going back to 2022. Which NFC